Thus the wise understand that the secret of primeval creation lies in the number 7 and in computations based therein. Thus they will gather and retain the knowledge that creation has a time for work or rest that is also based upon the number 7. Creation rested in a state of slumber for 7 great times when nothing existed, not even the universe. Only creation itself existed in slumber, and it brought forth no creature nor anything. However, it did awaken from its slumber through the 7 cycles of 7 great times and began to create creatures and everything. After having rested for 7 cycles of 7 great times, it is now creating living organisms and everything else, and it will do so for 7 more cycles of 7 great times, until it requires rest again and reposes anew in deep slumber for further 7 great times. When it will rest again and lie down in slumber, nothing will exist except for creation itself. There will be neither creatures nor any other thing. Only creation itself will exist during the 7 cycles of the 7 great times, because it will rest and slumber until it awakens again and brings forth new creatures and everything else. Just as creation is one within itself, however, so is all life, being and existence one within itself. It is by the law of creation that all humans, plants, animals and all life are one in themselves. A person may believe that everything is 2 or 3, but that is not so, because everything is one. Whatever people believe to be 2 or 3 is actually one, so they should make everything that is 2 or 3 into one. Since the spirit in a person is part of creation, it is one with creation, consequently it is not 2. And since the body is a part of the spirit in a different form and matter, it is therefore one with the spirit, consequently it is not 2. The teachings state that there is a unity and not, in any way or form, a duality or trinity. If it appears to people that there is a duality or trinity, then they are the victims of deception, for they do not think logically but according to human knowledge. But if they think according to the knowledge of the Spirit, they find the logic, which is also in the law. Only human thinking can be incorrect, not the laws of creation. For this reason, it is said that everything emanates from a unity, and the duality seems apparent only because humans, in their limited thinking, cannot grasp the truth. Since everything is a unity and everything emanates from it, no duality or trinity whatsoever can exist because it would violate the laws of creation. Therefore people should make the 2 or 3 into one and think and act according to the laws of creation. Only in ignorance does a person fabricate a duality or trinity and give offense to the laws of creation. When a person aligns everything into this unity, making everything into one, and then says to a mountain, "Move away," then it will move away. When everything is one in creation, in its laws, in the creatures and in matter, it is without error. When a wise man says there are always 2 of everything, he means that they are one within themselves and one together. It is only 2 in appearance, because in itself and also together it is always one. Therefore evil is one in itself because it is also good in itself. Likewise, good is one in itself because it is just as much evil in itself. Since even when apart they are one and a unity, together they are also one and a unity, for this is the law of creation. Thus the result is that there are 2 parts in appearance, but they are both one in themselves and one together. If, therefore, people say there exists also a trinity, then their consciousness has been addled by some cult, falsified teachings or confused thinking. A unity always consists of 2 parts, which are one in themselves and are duality only in appearance. Since a person is a unity of 2 parts, the spirit is a unity of 2 parts, but both are one in themselves and one together. The body cannot live without the spirit and conversely, because spirit and body are unity despite their seeming duality. The spirit, however, lives according to the same law, because in itself it also consists of two parts and is one in each part, thus it is one in itself. The two parts of the Spirit are wisdom and power. Without wisdom of the Spirit, its power cannot be utilized, nor can any wisdom emerge without spiritual power. Hence, two things are always required that are one within themselves, so there is a oneness within the unity but not a duality. Thus the law says that a human being is a unity in itself, which consists of two equal parts that form a unity, both within themselves and also together. And the two equal parts in the human being, each of which constitutes a unity within itself, are the body and the spirit. So when the scribes teach that a person lives in the Trinity, this teaching is erroneous and falsified, because it is not taught in accordance with the laws of creation. Chapter 35. Cults around Jmmanuel. It came to pass that Jmmanuel, his mother Mary, and his brother Thomas traveled on into the cities at the sea in the north. Since olden times, warrior women inhabited the area, but their descendants were now peace-loving. He preached to them the new teachings according to his knowledge, but had to flee their cities when they attempted to kill him. Their own teachings, far removed from truth, were from a rigid religious cult, and they punished with death those who taught differently. Jmmanuel was treated as an outcast by these people and persecuted as an agitator against their cult. So he fled. It came to pass during his flight that he met up with a large caravan. He and his following joined it and continued inland and into the mountains. They traveled through the central part of the country for many weeks, whereupon they came to another sea and into the city of Ephesus. But Jmmanuel was very much afraid, and no longer preached his new teachings so that no one would recognize him, for in Ephesus were many people, dealers and merchants, who came there from Jerusalem to conduct business. Many among them had known Jmmanuel and had not been well disposed toward him, therefore he avoided them and obscured his face. The dealers and merchants in Ephesus had spread the story of Jmmanuel and his purported death, which had occurred 2.5 years earlier. However, after he had been in the city for a few days, behold, he was recognized by one of the merchants who informed others of like belief. They belonged to a secret group called the Association of the Assassinated. They brought Jmmanuel to a meeting that was secret, for they feared the people because their secret society was considered unlawful. But among them was one named Jothan, the most senior of the secret society in Jerusalem, and he spoke, saying, "Behold, we know very well what has taken place in your life, but we do not understand how you can still be among the living. So, do tell us your secret." Jmmanuel feared that he would be bound and returned to Jerusalem if he remained silent in front of the conspirators, so he recounted everything to the assassins. And he told them about all that had transpired and how he had fled from Jerusalem and had arrived in their region. Jothan, the eldest, said, "Behold, we belong to a secret group called the Association of the Assassinated. Our quest and knowledge are not attuned to the teachings of the scribes, but to the secrets of nature and all that is inexplicable to humans.